Welcome back, folks. Get that mic in front of you. You're supposed to be act like a professional, Greg.
Thirsty. I was thirsty.
Come on, get that mic in front of your mouth, buddy.
I'm back.
There you go. You guys are good. You need me to just fix you up real quick here.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. Okay. Folks, thanks for tuning back in on the live stream from the South Central Region Conference of the NAED. That's the National Association of Electrical Distributors. And we're coming hot and live from beautiful Austin, Texas, Greg.
Here we are.
Woo! You know what the fun part is?
What?
We're with The Rock.
The Rock is actually here in presence.
The Rock. What does The Rock say?
Bring it.
Keystone Technologies. Go to KEYSTONETECH.com, baby. That's The Rock. The Retrofit Kings. Light made easy. Josh Brown, their VP of Sales, here with us. How are you? How are you, Josh?
Fantastic. I appreciate you guys having us here.
Oh, we appreciate you bringing this to the people out there, man, from the conference. And from the beginning, the original sponsors, the first sponsors of the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast, Keystone Technologies. We thank Ira, Fred, the whole team there. What you guys have done is really, really, what you have built in the last 10 years is really phenomenal, Josh.
Thank you. I would say the same to you guys. I mean, we obviously saw the innovation that you guys bring to the lighting industry and the podcast world and wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, since 2000, when did you join? 2010, 11?
Right around then, yeah.
I mean, you guys have taken off like a rocket, man.
Yeah, I mean, our business has changed pretty dramatically from being purely a ballast manufacturer to LED drivers, and then taking that LED driver technology and putting into retrofit solutions, as you call us, the retrofit kings.
Yeah.
But now also it's an everyday part of every fixture that we manufacture is a Keystone driver inside of it as well.
Before we dig too deep into that, who's this?
Josh and Sonia.
How long have you been with the company?
About 6 years now.
6 years.
Yep.
Josh,
Okay, cool. And what's your role there?
Previous territory manager, now director of sales, kind of covered central part of the country and overlap into the East Coast a little bit.
Well, you really are director of sales.
I am.
Oh, very
He wasn't
good.
making it up.
Okay, well, let's cross that title out and change it up.
You got a Sharpie?
Yeah.
We got something anyway. So, what has happened in the last 10 years? Like,
Revolution.
it's crazy when you think about it.
It's the entire lighting industry has been flipped upside down.
Like, I don't think there's any industry that has changed more. I would even challenge devices. I think devices like phones and all have incrementally improved in the last 10 years, but lighting is completely different than it was. There's no industry like it.
Cars, when there was horse and buggy.
No, but I mean, okay, yeah, exactly. I think it's almost there. Yeah.
In a very, very short period of time,
Yeah.
you went from everyone driving a horse and buggy to everyone driving a car. And,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the change in a very short period of time. I think LED, obviously different generations, but we're still in our infancy, but it is flipping over at a rate that I think far exceeded anyone's expectations.
You know what? I mean, we were talking earlier about the big three and all this kind of stuff, and there is no big three anymore. There's only The Rock, Keystone Technologies.
The big one.
Go to KEYSTONET.
Love the plug.
Yeah, but it's interesting because there's dead bodies everywhere in this industry right now. And who's going to step over those dead bodies, distributor wise, manufacturer wise? This sort of stuff is going to be interesting to see, because the last 10 years was about blowing your budget. The next 10 years is going to be about positioning yourself for the future.
Sure.
And it's going to be interesting to see who emerges as a leader, Greg.
Oh, for sure. That's what these things are all about. That's why we do this podcast, is try to figure it out. I don't know if we figured it out yet, but we're getting there.
Well, I think the hashtag The Rock is a good place to start. I'll send you the invoice after the show for that marketing thing there. But yeah, so what are you guys working on now? What's your next move? So you went from ballast to drivers to lamps to fixtures. Now you're into fixtures. Now you're into bulbs.
Yep.
You're into screw-in bars and all that. What's the next move?
I mean, our goal is really to be a one-stop shop. So to your point, there's a lot of craziness that's happened over the past 10 years of any type of LED lighting manufacturer that a lot of distributors might have in their on their shelves. Our plan is to be a one-stop shop, continue to add innovation and new products to the offering, but along the innovation, new categories. The Bluetooth side of the world, the controls.
You think that's a thing?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be for every application, but I think there definitely are plays in that space.
So you got to have that avenue.
I don't know, man. So in my career, I've been in this game 20 years, lighting game. And I grew up with light bulbs in my house. My dad used to sell light bulbs from our house when I was a kid. So I've been around lighting for a long time, and I've seen two distinct boom bust cycles with controls. First was when they combined passive infrared and microphonic or passive infrared with ultrasonic, dual technology.
Sure.
That was supposed to dual tech, buddy. You got ultrasonic and it's screaming at you and it's looking at you.
Yeah.
Right? That was supposed to revolutionize everything. And then you know what? 5% of projects had controls.
Sure.
And then there was a plug-in Incilium crowd. We're going to rewire buildings with Cat5 cable and it's going to do it. And that crashed out and burned. And now we have the IoT thing. And, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, I sell lighting every day and customers aren't asking for Bluetooth mesh networks in their lighting. You know, and when, you know, what was that Christmas present podcast we did the other day?
Christmas present.
The Christmas present one where you gave them a Christmas present.
I did?
Yeah. And then they could control their lights.
Oh, yes.
That was a Christmas
yeah.
present.
True. Okay. Yeah.
Where's
yeah.
our present?
You don't get. You might get the sale, and it might be your product at the end. But
Yeah.
where we went into an office and they had we put a dimming fixture in. It was yours. And,
Okay.
And they had a Lutron dimmer, that wireless control, and everybody crowded around their cubes as they were playing around with it.
Sure.
So like Mike said, I would give him a Christmas.
Yeah. Christmas comes once a year. And then after that,
it's not for everyone.
no, but no, you know what? I don't know. I think like, do people actually want to have another notification from their lighting system now? Or they want to be able to control it, or they just want it to work?
I think the IoT gives people a lot of choices.
There's choice fatigue.
Could be good or bad. But, you know, I think a great example, let's say you install 100 fixtures and you have one row of fixtures that are underneath people that want it to be dimmer. It's a relatively easy way for that row of of fixtures to be dimmer without having to do controls throughout the entire facility. I think there's plays in I mean, that's just one example. I don't think it's across the board going to, take everything over. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if rebates are going to continue to, grow for controls and, Bluetooth in that same space. So obviously rebates drive a lot of the, what's being sold in respective markets too.
Yeah, I could see it on the retrofit side somewhere. Maybe you have a customer that went in and changed out fixtures. They have panels or whatever maybe in there now. They didn't have dimming previously and they want dimming. So it could be a wireless retrofit opportunity for them to then dim the fixtures and, without having to run 0 to 10 throughout the entire facility.
Yeah. Do you think
so that could be an option too?
Is the key to do it on a fixture or to do it in a zone? More and more, it's like just put the control in each fixture. But then
it's a simpler concept.
It's simpler. It's just like now you can do whatever you want with that fixture.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that one.
Yep.
Instead, you have to control. So
I think he's buying into the Bluetooth controls.
You want to go sell some Bluetooth?
You might be on.
Well, look,
I'm ready right now.
he's doing it. What do you guys think?
I think it's a boom bust cycle again.
Okay.
I think the customers tell us what they want, and the customers are saying, "I don't give a crap." I almost said the F word.
Wow.
Close.
You're growing up right before our eyes here.
I don't give a crap about that, actually. Like, it's like, I mean, let's throw the circadian thing on the table just to illustrate the problems with all this speculative what's going to happen in the next 10 years other than selling light bulbs arguments.
Sure.
Okay. So we sell light bulbs, and now we're going to sell something else with the light bulbs, right? This is the control aspect of it, right? Okay. So let's throw circadian on the table. Now we're going to make you healthier. Now, what do we know about lighting? We know that most people don't like bright lights, right? But circadian's all 65K, 500 lumens or whatever it is, right? Blast them with this, and then everyone feels better. But we know that a lot of people don't like that, actually. And so you have there's a battle between, I think there's a circadian says, this is how your light should be, accept it, and you'll feel healthier. And controls are like, make your light whatever you want, right? Those are two opposing forces.
Sure.
Right? So circadian, if you're going to do a circadian system for an office, you're going to go in there, you're going to tell them what's up, right? This is how your lighting should be. I don't care what you say. I don't like it like that. Shut up. Circadian. I'm the circadian Canadian. You're going to do what I say, right? That's what, yeah, there you go. What's his name?
The Dave Pellicourt.
Yeah,
I like that one, yeah.
The circadian
Keystone.
Canadian. The Keystone, yeah, the Rock. So there's that. And then there's this control thing where it's like, well, you don't need that circadian nonsense. What you need is control. Those things
They're
are
counterintuitive. Yeah,
they're opposing
butting heads.
forces, man. And the industry's saying, we're going to do both. They can't have both.
Sure.
Circadian and controls do not go together. They're opposites. Well, maybe you can control the circadian, and you could like the controls would be like, we do it we follow the sun with the controls. But you don't get to touch them. You got to follow the sun, boy.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're going to feel better. And then, I don't know. What do you think?
So are you guys getting into circadian, or you're just going to avoid that and go right controls? Or the ability?
I mean, I personally find the technology very interesting, especially when dealing now as more information is coming out about dementia and Alzheimer's and the impact that it can have positively on some of those applications. Hamsters.
Coral.
Okay. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, like you can make a hamster crazy with light. Yeah, you can like what we know is that you can hurt people with light.
Sure.
That's what we know, right? Can you fix somebody, or can you supplement? I think Uta Besenecker said, watch out. It's more like a supplement. It's more like taking codfish liver oil than it is like taking an antidepressant.
Sure.
Right. So, can you actually help people? It's like people that have Alzheimer's, that's different.
Sure.
That's a different thing. Right. And we don't even, we're helping them sleep longer or whatever it is with the light. How that translates into, that's a very niche sort of problem that unfortunately those people have, right? But does that translate forward from anywhere to anything else? I don't know. I think the research says we don't know.
Yeah, I think that's where it's at.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknown. And that's the exciting part is I think the research is still in its infancy as well. Maybe not its infancy, but there's a lot of room to grow and improve upon.
So speaking of growth, Keystone has grown a lot. What are you guys doing? Why does everybody want to be like Keystone? We've heard that.
Yeah, Scott Costa came up to us and says, well, how can we be more like Keystone? I say, look, man, you got to, first of all, you got to sponsor the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast. Get your checkbook out. No, but, then we said to us this morning, and I said, well,
you said other manufacturers were asking.
Yeah.
So what do you say?
I mean, I would say it's not rocket science. We wear it on our sleeve. Light made easy. We just really strive to be the easiest company in the industry to do business with. And we make sure that we hire people and that breathe and, have that same mentality, and it carries throughout the entire culture at Keystone. When you mix that with, a push to be innovative and come out with new products, it seems to work.
Pretty simple formula.
It's funny. A lot of those concepts are pretty simple. But not everyone has grown like Keystone has grown, and you're growing in a commodity space. Like what you're selling is what everybody else is selling. I hate to say it like that.
That's okay.
Everybody's got what you maybe not Sign Hero. I mean, maybe that's a unique one. But you're beating people in a commodity space. That's tough to do, man. That's not as simple as Light Made Easy. There's a strategy behind that, and you're admired for it, and you deserve to be admired for it.
I would say so for sure.
Yeah.
You guys are continuing to grow. You're still hiring. You're in a new role from a territory sales manager to the director of sales.
Yep.
So how many territories are you in charge of?
It'll be about 20 states total.
Nice.
Just under 20 states. So
all right,
keep me busy.
Josh is going to retire. Josh Brown.
I don't know about that. I just do what they tell me to do.
Is that what it is now? Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a good live stream for us. I know you guys have other people you got to see. You got to go for lunch.
Yeah, I was just going to say, anything else you would add?
Certainly appreciate you all having us on board, and I think overall we just want to make things simple. We want to have our partners and we want to support the heck out of those guys. So simple as that.
I mean, the idea of it's interesting because I think in about 2014, 15, there was a lot of temptation to cut out the distributor. Okay,
sure,
a lot.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of companies made that choice. A lot of companies
or attempted to make that choice.
I mean, I think it's time to reestablish the channel and bring order to the business again. I think lighting is complicated. You need regional boots on the ground through your distribution network if you want to be a real player. And I think that selling to contractors and end users and commercial properties is a different business than selling to distributors. And I think so. I think that, you're here at the distribution show, you're in part of NAED. I think, really buying into distribution. It's funny. Another NAED member, Mark Braniff really buys into this from Veolia.
Yeah.
He's like, there's no point in going around the distributors because you just end up becoming Byzantine.
No question. Yeah, I would also add to that point, the trade associations that we're a part of are a big part of, our growth as well. So certainly NAED was one of the first, and it's been very impactful on our overall business being a member there. Similar trade shows like NAED that we're here today, but showing that support towards the channel, I couldn't agree more, is very critical to continue, not only growth today, but I mean, we're looking long-term growth, and that's how you have to look at it, in our opinion.
Yeah, there's a sense that I think the channel's coming back, and I was talking to Spencer Miles, obviously, Spencer, president of NAED. I was about talking to him last night, and we were discussing how we actually think the future is very exciting for lighting distributors right now. So if you think about it, Greg, before the LED boom, what lighting distributors did was they took complicated things about lighting and they made them simple for the end user customer.
Right.
Like F32 T8/41K/8/XPS/ Yeah. That's the same as this. Here, take a box of these.
Sure.
Right. And then LED came in and said, all you have to do is change the socket up, man. That's it. Just smash that LED bulb in there. That's it. You don't need to know much. And now it's coming back. We're actually repairing, fixing, and continuing to maintain these lighting systems is becoming very complicated again. Right? And hence the reemergence of the knowledgeable distributor is back. Right? What driver goes in that fixture? Can you cross this ULT driver to Keystone or vice versa? Do they fit? All those little things that distributors need to know to help people. That's coming back in big time.
Sure.
And I think it's an exciting time to sell light bulbs, man.
And I'm sure you're also seeing all those people that wouldn't buy from the distributor, you guys, and maybe they bought direct at a low cost, not as high quality as what you guys probably sell, are now coming to you and saying, I should have listened to you. That's out, that failed well before the warranty period did.
Even distributors that did that. I've talked to many of them that in our marketplace that were buying direct from China, and they're like, I don't have time to deal with that anymore. I'm not going to deal with a guy in his house in China and wait after hours and try to deal with it and then figure out issues. It's not worth the effort.
Yeah.
And the little savings you get.
Yeah. So that support of the channel goes both ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. It's like, so the distributors have to, I don't want to use this kind of terminology, but there was a bit of pimping and whoring going on in the last 10 years.
Let's keep this PG.
Keep it PG. But there's a sense of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. It's time for a lot of the manufacturing is coming back to the United States. Like you see in H.E. Williams over there talking about made in the USA. People are making LED tubes in America now, and with this, this sort of stuff, there's definitely looks like the old. We abandoned the paradigm to our peril as an industry, and now we're returning to the paradigm. Folks, The Rock is here live. Keystone Technologies, the sponsor of the show, and the VP of Sales, Josh Brown. Josh, I forgot the last name though. What is it? Sonia, Regional Sales Manager for Keystone. Hey, we are really grateful to all the listeners out there, all the people that anonymously like and listen. And there's so many of you out there. I'm really humbled, and so is Greg. Thank you for listening. Go to KeystoneTech.com. That's KeystoneTech.com.